people's expectations for Hailey Van Lith are just simply put too high. Like, I'm hearing expectations of Hailey Van Lith being a starter. Like, Hailey Van Lith, let's be honest here. Hailey Van Lith is probably, at this point in time, their third string point guard. And she's not. She has to play point guard for this team because she is not cracking this rotation as a two guard. You cannot play her with Sloot. You cannot play her with Sloot at the same time. So if we look at the Sky's roster right now, and she's going to make the roster. Like, people saying Hailey Van Lith's not going to make the roster are crazy. But no, she's going to make the roster. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Like, Hailey Van Lith is going to make the roster. But there's just so much talk about Hailey Van Lith being like a big option. Angel's going to average more points than she did last year. She's going to take a lot less shots than she did last year. It all depends on how she's shooting from mid. She's playing a lot more on the perimeter this year. They'll bench Angel Reese, tries to modify her game. She only shoots 40%. And no, because like I think that I think if her focus is probably going to be more on defense this year. If the Sky want to win, her focus is going to be on defense this year. But so the Sky, Civica's not coming over. She's at least not coming over till post Eurobasket. So if you look at the roster right now and just who's going to be playing where. So Maddie Westbell's going to be on the team. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. She's going to be on the team. And if you're looking at the shooting guard position, Rachel Banham is ahead of Van Lith in the pecking order. And if you want to say, Hailey Van Lith was an All-American in college, she's automatically going to be ahead of Rachel Banham. Rachel Banham did nothing. Like, let's not forget again, Rachel Banham has been good on a lot of good WNBA teams. And let's not forget in college. Let's look at her college stats. In Rachel Banham's, final year in college, she did in fact average 28 points per game. Maddie Westbell, I think, is going to make it's between her and Bursch to make the team. I think it'll be Westbell's. She's not going to make it in as a two guard over Kia Nurse off the bench, and obviously Ariel Atkins is starting. Like, it's an obvious one that Ariel Atkins is starting. So you're looking at her potentially having to compete with Mariah Jefferson, and teams just like Mariah Jefferson for some reason. Like, there were all the reports, and to be fair, these were the same people reporting the Sky were trading the third pick, and that the Sky were doing all they could to bring Courtney Vandersloot in, and that included trading the third pick. Like, all of those reports said they're happy with Mariah Jefferson as a backup point guard. And I mean, like, she did started for the Mercury, that averaged 10.5 points in 2023. But I just didn't rate her at all last year. Did not rate her for the Sun. Did not rate her for the Sky. And her and Van Lith are around the same height. So it just depends on what they're looking to do. So someone says Sloot will be a substitute this year. They're not paying Sloot $250,000 to be a substitute. They're not paying Courtney Vandersloot to be a substitute, especially for an 11th pick in a draft. Like, and we can be honest, if we're looking at the draft, the only players that are looking like they're going to start, Kiki Iriafen purely because Aaliyah Edwards is injured, but pre-injuries, the only players in the top up was Paige Bueckers and Sonia Citron that were likely to start from the first 10 picks in the draft. So it's unlikely that pick number 11 is going to start. It's not like last year where Aaliyah Edwards, Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso, Cameron Brink, Rakia Jackson, Caitlin Clark were all either starters or like right near starters straight away. Because if you look at the previous year, like, we forget how little rookies tend to play in the WNBA. That's why Caitlin Clark was such an anomaly. Because if you look at the 2023 WNBA draft, you're looking, where is it? List of full selections. So, Diamond Miller, in fairness, she did okay in her first year. Maddie Siegrist did not play much in her first year. Suarez is out of the league. Lou Lopez Seneschal might as well be out of the league. Haley Jones has not played much for Atlanta. Grace Berger could be out of the league if she doesn't make the Lynx roster. Amaher might be out of the league soon. Jordan Horson, very good. Zaya Cook, I don't know how long she's going to be in the league. I have no idea who Abby Myers is, and I don't know who she is either. Like, so if we're looking at the league and if people are expecting a lot of picks being like all of a sudden, Caitlin Clark was an exception to the rule. The way Caitlin Clark translated from college to the WNBA is something that has not happened and probably won't happen soon. And Sky will need to low manage Sloot if they make the playoffs. Yeah, but you also have to take into account that when it comes to Courtney Vandersloot or the Sky, that Ariel Atkins can run a bit of the 1-2. So there's going to be some minutes for there at the 1. Like, you're not playing 2K where you sub on your starters and your bench lineup, or you're playing my team where there's position locks and you can only play someone whose primary position is point guard or point guard. Like, Ariel Atkins will log in some point guard minutes. And there's a possibility that if Kia Nurse is hooping or if Beck Allen is hooping. So let's just say Beck Allen, Michaela Onyenwere are both hooping. If they want to continue to start the Twin Towers or the Skyscrapers, which they will. No matter how badly it's going for this year, that's why they've got Sloot in. They want to see if it's going to work. For this year, they're going to be starting them no matter what. No matter how well, if a Beck Allen is playing unbelievably well, even though you could argue maybe Beck Allen might fit better beside both of them. But again, we're yet to see. If Michaela Onyenwere is hooping like she did last year, if Beck Allen is hooping as well, Beck Allen's brilliant. Beck Allen has been a starter for contenders for a lot of her career. Like, people are thinking she's suddenly coming off the bench or she's not doing anything. No, Beck Allen's probably starting for the team. But there's a non-zero chance that Ariel Atkins runs the 1. Like, maybe not starting. Maybe not start at the 1, but they could start running lineups with Ariel Atkins at the 1, Onyenwere at the 2, Beck Allen at the 3, Angel Reese at the 4, Camila Cardoso at the 5, and suddenly have the best defensive lineup in the WNBA. Like, there is genuinely potential that the Sky can go out with a lineup that's the best lineup in the WNBA. And one player not mentioned any of those lineups is Hailey Van Lith. I think she's going to have to fight for minutes. And I mean that. Like, I don't think she's going to make the roster. I think she's going to play a few minutes. She's not going to get Nika muled. But she's going to have to fight to play above, like, 15 minutes a game. So not even 15, geez. She's going to have to fight to get to 10 minutes a game. Because I would say game one, it's like she might get a first half. She's going to have to fight to get into the second half rotation. Do I think she can do that? Who knows? And I mean that, genuinely. Who knows if she can do that or not? But all I'm going to say is that it's not a guarantee. And a lot of people are talking about Hailey Van Lith, like, oh, she's going to compete for Rookie of the Year. She's going to have to fight for minutes. Like, the only rookies that I think that are going to walk right in and potentially start, and maybe Anissa Morrow, Paige Bueckers, obviously. And if someone's saying Timpson Rookie of the Year, like, Michaela Timpson's probably going to get DNPs. She's going to be 11th in the rotation. She's going to get a lot of DNPs. It's all about long-term with Michaela Timpson if you are a Fever fan. Short-term, I don't think you're going to see too much. But yeah, I just think people are setting expectations way too high for Hailey Van Lith. Like, I think she'll be good. I think long-term she'll be good. But, like, a lot of people are talking about, like, her potentially being in the Rookie of the Year convo or starting above Courtney Vandersloot, who they not only are paying $250,000 to, they traded the number 2 pick away to appease Courtney Vandersloot, or number 3 pick away to appease Courtney Vandersloot. So there's no way they did all that just to bench Sloot for the 11th pick in the draft. Let's be real.